Lesson 1, Summer Holiday.
Hey Anna, have you thought about what we should do during our summer holiday?
Not really, I was thinking of maybe just relaxing at home. What about you?
I was hoping we could plan something exciting. Maybe a road trip or a beach vacation.
A road trip sounds like a lot of fun. Where were you thinking of going?
I was thinking of driving up the coast and stopping at different cities along the way. We could hit up some beaches, go hiking, and explore new places.
That sounds great. But, do you think it'll be too expensive?
Well, we can always split the cost and look for affordable accommodations. Plus, we can save up some money beforehand so we can have a good time without worrying too much about the expenses.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. But, would you mind if we also take some time to relax on the beach? I really want to just lay in the sun and read a book.
Of course not. We can plan a few days to just relax on the beach. Maybe we can find a place with a pool and a spa too, so we can really unwind.
That would be perfect. I'm also interested in trying out some new water sports. Have you ever tried surfing or paddleboarding?
I haven't, but it sounds like a lot of fun. We can look for some places that offer those activities. I'm also interested in trying out some new foods. Maybe we can find some local restaurants that serve delicious seafood.
Yum! That sounds great. I'm also hoping to take lots of pictures to document our trip. Maybe we can even make a scrapbook afterwards.
That's a great idea. We can keep all the memories from our trip in one place. We should also make a list of all the things we want to do and places we want to visit before we go, so we can make the most of our time.
Definitely. I'm so excited for this trip. It's going to be the best summer break ever.
I couldn't agree more. Let's start planning and get ready for an amazing adventure.
Lesson 2. It seems like spring is finally on its way.
Hey Anna, have you noticed how much warmer it's been getting lately? It seems like spring is finally on its way.
Yes, I've definitely noticed. I'm so excited for spring. I can't wait to start spending more time outside.
Me too. I'm looking forward to going for walks, having picnics, and just enjoying the sunshine.
Speaking of picnics, have you thought about planning one? We could invite some friends and make a day of it.
That's a great idea. We could go to the park and bring some sandwiches, fruit, and maybe even some wine.
Yes, and we could play some games like frisbee or soccer. It would be a fun way to spend a day outside.
Definitely. And I also want to start gardening again this year. I miss having fresh herbs and vegetables to use in my cooking.
That sounds like a great idea. I think I might try planting some flowers this year. It would be nice to have some color in the yard.
And don't forget about spring cleaning. It's always a good time to declutter and get rid of things we don't need.
That's true. I've already started going through my closet and donating clothes I don't wear anymore.
Good for you. I think I need to do the same with some of my old books and electronics.
It feels good to let go of things and make space for new opportunities. Speaking of which, have you thought about any spring trips or vacations?
Not yet, but I was thinking about taking a weekend camping trip. It would be a great way to disconnect and get some fresh air.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Let me know if you need any help planning it.
Will do. I can't wait for all the adventures that spring will bring.
Lesson 3. I think my piano needs some maintenance.
Hey Anna, I think my piano needs some maintenance. It's been sounding a bit off lately.
Really? What do you think the problem is?
I'm not sure, but I think some of the keys might be sticking and the sound doesn't seem as clear as it used to be.
That's too bad. Have you considered having a professional come and take a look at it?
Yes, I was actually thinking about that. But I'm not sure who to call or how much it would cost.
I can ask around and see if any of my musician friends have any recommendations. And as for the cost, it really depends on what needs to be done. But it's usually worth it to invest in good maintenance to keep your piano in good condition.
That's true. I don't want to let the problem go and end up with a bigger issue down the line. And I really love playing the piano, so it's important to me to keep it in good shape.
Absolutely. And while you're waiting to get it fixed, why not try practicing on a different piano? It might give you a fresh perspective and help you improve your playing.
That's a good idea. I could try playing on the piano at my friend's house. And in the meantime, I can also do some research and see if there are any basic maintenance tasks I can do myself.
That's a good idea too. You might be able to do some simple things like dusting the keys or tightening the screws on the pedals.
Yeah, that's true. I'll definitely look into it. Thanks for the suggestions, Anna. I really appreciate it.
No problem, John. I know how important music is to you and I want to help in any way I can. Lesson 4. The sky is so blue and clear.
Hey Anna, have you noticed how beautiful the weather has been lately? The sky is so blue and clear.
Yes, it's been amazing. I love springtime when the weather starts to warm up and everything comes back to life.
Me too. It's a great time to get outside and enjoy nature. Have you been on any hikes or walks recently?
Yeah, I went on a hike last weekend and it was stunning. The trees and flowers were all blooming, and the view from the summit was incredible.
That sounds amazing. I've been meaning to go on a hike myself. Do you have any recommendations for a good trail?
There's a trail not too far from here that I really like. It's called the Blue Sky Trail, and it has some really beautiful views of the mountains.
That sounds perfect. I've never been on that trail before, but I've heard good things about it. Maybe we can plan a hike together sometime soon.
That would be great. And speaking of the blue sky, have you ever tried stargazing?
Not really, but I've always been interested in it. I just don't know much about it.
It's really easy to get started. You just need to find a clear night and a dark place away from city lights. You don't even need a telescope, although it can help.
That sounds like something I would enjoy. Maybe we could plan a stargazing night soon as well.
I'd love that. We can bring some blankets and hot cocoa and make a night of it.
That sounds perfect. I'm really grateful for the great weather and the chance to spend more time outside.
Me too. It's so important to take advantage of the good weather and enjoy the beauty of nature while we can. Lesson 5. I don't have much money to spend by the end of the month.
Hey Anna, I'm a little worried about my finances this month. I don't have much money to spend by the end of the month.
Oh no, what happened? Did unexpected expenses come up?
Yeah, a few things came up that I wasn't expecting. And I also spent more than I planned on some things.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have you tried making a budget to see where your money is going and where you can cut back?
I haven't yet, but I think that's a good idea. I need to take a closer look at my expenses and see where I can make adjustments.
It can be tough to stick to a budget sometimes, but it's really important to be mindful of your spending and make sure you're not overspending.
That's true. I need to be more mindful of my spending habits and make sure I'm not wasting money on things I don't really need.
One thing you could try is to cut back on eating out or ordering takeout. Cooking at home can be a lot cheaper and healthier too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've been eating out a lot lately, and it's definitely been taking a toll on my wallet.
Another thing you can do is to look for deals or discounts when you do need to make purchases. There are a lot of apps and websites that can help you find coupons or sales.
That's a good point. I need to start being more proactive about finding deals and discounts.
And if you're really in a tight spot, you can always try selling some things you don't need or taking on some extra work to make some extra money.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I have some things I could sell, and I could also look for some freelance work to make some extra cash.
It's important to remember that financial struggles happen to everyone at some point, and it's okay to ask for help if you need it.
Thanks, Anna. I really appreciate your support and advice. I'm going to start working on my budget right away and try to be more mindful of my spending habits.
Lesson 6. I've been thinking about applying for a full-time job again.
Hey Anna, I've been thinking about applying for a full-time job again. It's been many years since I've worked because I've been taking care of my baby, but now that they're a bit older, I think it's time for me to start working again.
That's great, John. What kind of job are you looking for?
I'm not too sure yet. I have some experience in sales and customer service, but I'm open to exploring other fields as well.
That's a good mindset to have. It's always good to be open to new opportunities and experiences.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous though. It's been a while since I've been in the workforce, and I'm not sure how to update my resume or how to approach the job search.
Don't worry too much. There are a lot of resources available to help you with your job search, like job boards and career centers. And as for your resume, you can highlight the skills and experience you gained from your time as a caregiver, like time management and attention to detail.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. I also need to figure out what kind of schedule will work best for my family, since I still need to be available for my child.
That's definitely an important consideration. You might want to look for jobs with flexible schedules or remote work options.
That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing some research and see what kind of job opportunities are out there.
And don't forget to take some time to prepare for interviews too. You can practice with a friend or family member and research common interview questions.
Yeah, that's definitely something I need to do. I want to make sure I'm confident and prepared when I start applying for jobs.
I'm sure you'll do great, John. It's a big step to return to the workforce, but it's also a chance for you to grow and develop new skills.
Thanks, Anna. Your support means a lot to me. I'm excited to see where this new chapter in my life takes me.
Lesson 7. My family and I are planning to move to a new city.
Hey Anna, I have some news. My family and I are planning to move to a new city.
Really? That's exciting. What's the reason for the move?
We've been thinking about it for a while now, and we decided that we want to be closer to family and have a change of scenery.
That makes sense. Where are you thinking of moving to?
We're thinking of moving to Portland, Oregon. We've heard a lot of good things about the city and we think it would be a good fit for our family.
That sounds like a great choice. I've been to Portland before and it's a really cool city with a lot to offer.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. But at the same time, we're a bit nervous about the logistics of the move.
I can imagine. Moving can be a big undertaking, especially if you're moving to a new city. Have you started planning yet?
We've started looking at apartments and houses in the area, but we haven't made any official plans yet. We also need to figure out transportation and logistics for all of our belongings.
That's a lot to consider. Have you thought about hiring a moving company to help with the move?
We have, but we're also trying to keep costs down. Moving can be expensive, especially if you're moving long distance.
That's true. But sometimes it's worth it to spend a little extra money to ensure a smooth and stress-free move. You could also look into renting a moving truck and doing the move yourself, but that comes with its own set of challenges.
That's a good point. We'll definitely need to weigh our options and decide what's best for us. But overall, we're really excited about this new chapter in our lives.
I'm excited for you too, John. Moving to a new city can be a great adventure, and I'm sure you'll love Portland. And don't worry, I'll still keep in touch even if you're far away.
Thanks, Anna. Your support means a lot to me and my family. We're looking forward to this new adventure and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Lesson 8. I won the lottery.
Hey Anna, guess what? I won the lottery.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations, John. How much did you win?
I won a pretty sizable amount, actually. It's enough to change my life and my family's life forever.
That's incredible. Have you thought about how you want to spend the money?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. I want to be smart about how I spend the money and make sure it lasts for a long time.
That's a good approach. What are some of your ideas?
Well, first of all, I want to pay off all of my debts and my family's debts. That way we can start fresh and not have to worry about money as much.
That's a great idea. It's always good to have a solid financial foundation.
Yeah, and after that, I want to invest some of the money in a diverse portfolio. That way it can continue to grow over time.
That's a smart move. Investing can be a great way to build wealth over the long term.
But I also want to use some of the money to give back to my community and help others. I was thinking about starting a scholarship fund or donating to a local charity.
That's really generous of you, John. It's important to remember to give back and help others when we can.
Definitely. And of course, I want to use some of the money to treat myself and my family. We've always wanted to travel more, so we might plan some trips or vacations.
That sounds like a great idea. Traveling can be such a rewarding and enriching experience.
And finally, I want to set aside some of the money for my children's future. I want to make sure they have a good education and are set up for success.
That's very thoughtful of you, John. It's always important to think about the future and plan ahead.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm making the most of this opportunity and using the money in a way that will benefit me and my family for years to come.
It sounds like you have a good plan in place, John. I'm excited for you and your family and can't wait to see all the amazing things you'll do with the money. Lesson 9. Hot drinks are healthier than cold drinks.
Hey Anna, have you ever heard that hot drinks are healthier than cold drinks?
I have heard that before. Some people believe that hot drinks can have more health benefits than cold drinks.
Yeah, I was reading about it, and apparently hot drinks can help with digestion, boost the immune system, and even improve mood.
That's interesting. I know that hot water with lemon is often recommended as a healthy drink.
Right, and I've also heard that herbal teas can have a lot of health benefits too.
Definitely. Herbal teas can be a great way to stay hydrated and get some extra vitamins and nutrients.
But what about cold drinks like iced tea or cold-pressed juice? Are those not as healthy?
Cold drinks can still be healthy, but it really depends on what's in them. A lot of cold drinks have added sugars or artificial ingredients, which can be harmful to your health.
That's a good point. I guess it's not really the temperature of the drink that matters, but rather the ingredients and nutrients in it.
Exactly. Whether a drink is hot or cold doesn't necessarily determine its health benefits. It's important to be mindful of what you're putting in your body and make sure you're getting the nutrients you need.
That makes sense. I guess I was just curious about the idea that hot drinks might be healthier.
It's always interesting to learn about new health trends and ideas. But it's also important to do your own research and not just believe everything you hear.
Definitely. I'm going to keep exploring the idea of hot drinks and see if there are any that I want to start incorporating into my daily routine.
That's a great idea. And don't forget to drink plenty of water too. Hydration is key to good health, no matter what temperature the drink is. Lesson 10. Who is the best football player?
Hey Anna, I've been thinking a lot about football lately and I can't decide who the best player is. Is it Messi or Ronaldo?
That's a tough one. Both Messi and Ronaldo are incredibly talented and have achieved so much in their careers.
Yeah, but I feel like they have different strengths and play styles. Messi is more of a playmaker and is known for his incredible dribbling and passing abilities, while Ronaldo is more of a goal scorer and is known for his speed and powerful shots.
That's true. It's hard to compare the two because they have different strengths and play in different positions.
But if we had to choose one, who would you say is the better player?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think it really depends on what you value more in a player. If you value creativity and playmaking ability, then Messi might be the better choice. But if you value goal scoring and athleticism, then Ronaldo might be the better choice.
I can see your point, but I think I would have to go with Messi. His ability to create scoring opportunities for his teammates and his incredible ball control is just unmatched.
That's a valid choice. Messi is definitely one of the greatest players of all time. But I personally prefer Ronaldo, because his speed and powerful shots are just so impressive to watch.
Ronaldo is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and his dedication to fitness and training is so inspiring.
It's really hard to say who is the better player, because they both have achieved so much in their careers and have set so many records.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's really just a matter of personal preference. Both Messi and Ronaldo are incredibly talented and have brought so much joy and excitement to the world of football.
Exactly. We can all appreciate their skills and achievements, no matter who we think is the better player. Lesson 11. Have you ever competed in a 100-meter race before?
Hey Anna, have you ever competed in a 100-meter race before?
No, I haven't. Why do you ask?
I was just thinking about it, and I feel like I could win a 100-meter race if I trained for it.
That's a bold statement, John. The 100-meter race is one of the most competitive and physically demanding events in track and field.
I know, but I've been working on my sprinting and I feel like I have a lot of natural speed and agility.
Well, training and natural ability are definitely important, but so is technique and form. Have you been working on those as well?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research and watching videos on proper sprinting technique. I feel like I have a good understanding of how to maximize my speed and efficiency.
That's good, but it's also important to have a good coach or mentor who can help you refine your technique and give you feedback on your form.
That's a good point. I might look into finding a coach or trainer who can help me improve my sprinting.
And don't forget about diet and nutrition. Proper fueling and hydration are essential for peak performance in any sport.
Right, I've been trying to eat a balanced diet and drink plenty of water to make sure my body is in top shape.
That's great. But even with all of that, winning a 100-meter race is no easy feat. You'll be competing against some of the best sprinters in the world.
I know, but I'm up for the challenge. I think it would be really exciting to see how I would do in a race like that.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, John. Whether you win or not, the important thing is that you're challenging yourself and pushing your limits.
Thanks, Anna. I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can go and how fast I can run. Who knows, maybe I'll surprise myself and everyone else.
Lesson 12. I've had this cough for a few days now.
Hey Anna, I've had this cough for a few days now and I'm starting to get a bit worried. Do you have any advice?
Well, it's always best to err on the side of caution when it comes to your health. Have you tried taking any cough medicine or remedies?
Yeah, I've been taking some over-the-counter cough medicine, but it doesn't seem to be helping much.
In that case, it might be worth seeing a doctor or healthcare professional. They can assess your symptoms and make sure there's nothing more serious going on.
That's a good point. I've been hesitant to go to the doctor because of COVID-19 concerns, but I guess it's better to be safe than sorry.
Definitely. Many healthcare providers are taking extra precautions to ensure the safety of their patients, so it's important not to neglect your health.
You're right. I'll make an appointment with my doctor and see what they recommend.
Good idea. In the meantime, make sure you're staying hydrated and getting plenty of rest. That can help your body fight off any infections or illnesses.
Will do. Thanks for the advice, Anna. I appreciate your concern and support.
Of course, John. Your health is important and I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. Lesson 13, I'm thinking about getting some McDonald's for lunch.
Hey Anna, do you ever eat fast food? I'm thinking about getting some McDonald's for lunch.
I don't eat fast food too often, but I do enjoy McDonald's from time to time. What are you thinking of getting?
I was thinking of getting a Big Mac meal with a Coke. It's my go-to order.
That sounds delicious, but have you ever thought about trying some of the healthier options on the menu?
Like what?
Well, McDonald's now offers a variety of salads, grilled chicken sandwiches, and even fruit and yogurt options.
Really? I had no idea. I always just assumed fast food was unhealthy.
While it's true that many fast food options are high in calories, sodium, and fat, there are still some healthier options available if you know where to look.
That's good to know. Maybe I'll try one of the healthier options next time.
Another thing to keep in mind is portion sizes. Fast food restaurants often serve much larger portions than we actually need.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Sometimes the portions are so big that I end up feeling sick afterwards.
In that case, you could try ordering a smaller size or splitting a meal with a friend. That way you can still enjoy the food without overeating.
That's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the advice, Anna.
No problem, John. The most important thing is to listen to your body and make choices that feel good for you. Whether that means indulging in a Big Mac every once in a while or trying out some of the healthier options, it's all about finding a balance that works for you. Lesson 14, have you heard about the typhoon that's coming?
Hey Anna, have you heard about the typhoon that's coming? I'm getting a bit nervous about it.
Yes, I've heard about it too. It's always a bit scary when a big storm like that is headed our way.
Yeah, and it seems like this one is going to be pretty strong. I've been hearing reports about potential flooding and power outages.
That's definitely a concern. It's important to make sure we're prepared and have everything we need in case of an emergency.
Do you have any advice on how to prepare for a typhoon?
Well, first of all, make sure you have plenty of clean water on hand. Fill up some containers or bottles so you have enough to last for a few days.
That's a good idea. What about food?
It's a good idea to have some non-perishable food items on hand, like canned goods or snacks that don't need to be refrigerated. And don't forget about a can opener.
Right, I'll make sure to stock up on some canned goods and snacks. What else should I do to prepare?
It's also a good idea to have a first aid kit on hand, in case anyone gets injured. And make sure you have some extra batteries, flashlights, and a portable radio in case the power goes out.
I never would have thought about a portable radio. That's a good idea.
And don't forget about your pets. Make sure you have enough food and water for them too, and bring them inside if it's safe to do so.
That's a great point. I'll make sure to bring my dog inside and stock up on some extra pet food.
It's always better to be overprepared than underprepared when it comes to these things. Stay safe, John, and let me know if you need any help or advice during the storm. Lesson 15. I want to do more to protect the environment.
Hey Anna, I've been thinking a lot about the environment lately and I want to do more to protect it. Do you have any suggestions for what I can do?
That's great to hear, John. There are actually a lot of things you can do to make a positive impact on the environment. One thing you can do is reduce your energy consumption by turning off lights and electronics when you're not using them.
That's a good idea. I'll try to be more mindful about my energy usage. What else can I do?
Another thing you can do is reduce your use of single-use plastics. Bring your own reusable water bottle, coffee cup, and shopping bags, instead of using disposable ones.
That's a great idea. I've actually been using a reusable water bottle for a while now, but I could definitely work on using fewer plastic bags.
That's a good start. You can also try to reduce your meat consumption, as animal agriculture is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions.
That's something I've been considering for a while now. I think I might try to incorporate more plant-based meals into my diet.
That's a great step. You can also look into supporting companies and organizations that prioritize sustainability and environmentally friendly practices.
That's a good idea. Are there any specific organizations you recommend?
There are a lot of great organizations out there, but some of my favorites include the Sierra Club, the Nature Conservancy, and the Environmental Defense Fund.
I'll make sure to check those out. Thanks for the advice, Anna. It's good to know that there are so many things I can do to make a positive impact on the environment.
Of course, John. Every little bit helps, and I'm glad you're taking steps to be a more responsible and sustainable citizen. Lesson 16. Which basketball game were you thinking of watching?
Hey Anna, are you a fan of basketball? There's a big game on this weekend that I was thinking about watching.
I do enjoy watching basketball from time to time. Which game were you thinking of watching?
It's the Lakers versus the Celtics. It's always a big rivalry and I think it's going to be a really exciting game.
That sounds like it could be a lot of fun. Do you have plans to watch it somewhere?
I was thinking of going to a sports bar with some friends. It's always more fun to watch games like this with a group of people.
Great. And even if you can't make it to a sports bar, there are always options for watching games at home. You could even have a virtual watch party with friends over video chat.
That's a good point. Do you have any suggestions for snacks or drinks to have while watching the game?
Well, you can never go wrong with classic sports bar snacks like nachos, wings, and popcorn. And for drinks, you could make some homemade lemonade or iced tea, or even a signature cocktail if you're feeling fancy.
Those all sound great. I might have to try making a signature cocktail for the game.
It's always fun to get creative and try new things. Just make sure you're not overindulging and that you're drinking responsibly.
Definitely. Thanks for the advice, Anna. I'm really looking forward to the game this weekend.
No problem, John. Enjoy the game and have fun with your friends. Lesson 17. Successful business trip.
Hey Anna, I just got back from a really successful business trip. I'm feeling really good about how it went.
That's great to hear, John. What made it so successful?
Well, I was able to close a really big deal with a client that we've been courting for months. It's going to be a huge win for the company.
That's fantastic news. Congrats on the big win. What do you think contributed to your success?
I think it was a combination of things. First, I was really prepared going into the meetings. I did my research on the client and their needs, so I was able to speak to their specific pain points and offer tailored solutions.
That's a smart approach. What else helped you seal the deal?
I also tried to build a rapport with the client and really listen to their concerns. I think they appreciated that I was genuinely interested in their business and wanted to help them succeed.
That's great to hear. Building relationships and trust with clients is so important in business.
Definitely. And I also had a great team supporting me back at the office. They helped me prepare for the meetings and were available to answer any questions I had during the trip.
It sounds like it was a real team effort. It's great to see everyone working together to achieve a common goal.
Yeah, I'm really proud of how we all pulled together to make this happen. It's a real testament to the strength of our team.
Well, congratulations again on the successful trip, John. It's always great to see hard work and preparation pay off in big ways. Lesson 18, Two Dogs That Were Fighting with Each Other.
Hey Anna, I was out walking my dog earlier and we came across two dogs that were fighting with each other. It was really intense and I didn't know what to do.
That sounds scary. Did anyone else try to intervene?
Yeah, there were a few other people around trying to break it up, but it didn't seem to be working very well.
It's important to be careful when intervening in dog fights, as they can be unpredictable and dangerous. Do you know if either of the dogs were injured?
I'm not sure. It was hard to tell with all the chaos going on.
If you do come across a situation like that again, the first thing you should do is try to get the attention of the owners or anyone else who might be able to help. If you can't find the owners, you might need to call animal control or the police.
That's a good point. I wasn't sure if I should try to physically intervene or not.
It's generally not a good idea to try to physically separate fighting dogs, as it can be dangerous for both you and the dogs. Instead, try to distract them with loud noises or by throwing something nearby that isn't harmful to them.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for the future. It was just really upsetting to see the dogs fighting like that.
It's definitely not a pleasant sight. It's important for dog owners to be responsible and make sure their dogs are properly socialized and trained to avoid situations like that.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we need to be responsible pet owners and do our part to prevent these kinds of situations from happening in the first place.
Exactly. And if you ever see a dog that looks like it's in distress or in danger, it's always a good idea to reach out to the owner or authorities to make sure the dog is safe and well taken care of.
Thanks for the advice, Anna. I'll definitely keep all of that in mind next time I'm out with my dog.
Lesson 19, Fire happened in the downtown area last night.
Hey Anna, have you heard about the fire that happened in the downtown area last night? It was pretty intense.
No, I hadn't heard about that. Are people okay? Was there a lot of damage?
I'm not sure about any injuries, but there was definitely a lot of damage to the buildings in the area. I saw some pictures online and it looked really bad.
That's really unfortunate. Do they know what caused the fire?
I don't know the details yet, but some people are speculating that it might have been an electrical issue.
It's always a good reminder to be vigilant about fire safety. Do you have any tips for preventing fires in the home?
One thing you can do is make sure all of your smoke detectors are working properly and have fresh batteries. It's also important to be careful when using appliances and to never leave cooking food unattended.
Those are great tips. It's also a good idea to have a fire extinguisher in your home, just in case of an emergency.
Definitely. And it's important to have a fire escape plan in place, so you and your family know what to do if there is a fire.
That's a good point. And if you do find yourself in a situation where there is a fire, it's important to stay low to the ground and try to get out as quickly and safely as possible.
Right, and it's important to remember not to try to put out a large fire yourself. Call the fire department and let the professionals handle it.
Absolutely. It's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to fire safety. It's a serious matter that can have devastating consequences.
Definitely. Seeing the damage from that fire last night was a real wake-up call for me. It's important to take fire safety seriously and do everything we can to prevent fires from happening in the first place.
That's a good mindset to have, John. Stay safe and keep those fire safety tips in mind. Lesson 20. The sound quality of my earphones is really impressive.
Hey Anna, I recently got a new pair of earphones and they are amazing. The sound quality is really impressive.
That's great to hear, John. What kind of earphones did you get?
They're the Bose Quiet Comfort earphones. They have noise-canceling technology so you can really get lost in the music.
Those sound really high-end. Do they come with any other features or functions?
Yeah, they have touch controls so you can easily skip songs or adjust the volume without having to take out your phone. And they also have a really long battery life, which is nice.
Wow, those do sound impressive. How do they fit in your ear? Are they comfortable to wear for long periods of time?
They come with different size ear tips so you can find the perfect fit for your ear. And they're really comfortable to wear for long periods of time, even if you wear glasses like I do.
That's really important. I've had some earphones in the past that were uncomfortable to wear for more than a few minutes.
Yeah, I've had that problem in the past too. But these earphones are really well designed and the ear tips are made of a soft silicone material that molds to your ear.
That sounds really nice. I might have to look into getting a pair for myself.
I highly recommend them. The sound quality is really impressive and they're perfect for commuting or just listening to music at home.
Thanks for the recommendation, John. It's always good to know about high-quality products like these earphones. Lesson 21. Have you been having trouble with your mobile signal lately?
Hey Anna, have you been having trouble with your mobile signal lately? I've been experiencing really bad reception in certain areas.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's frustrating when you're trying to make a call or send a text and it just won't go through.
Definitely. I've tried resetting my phone and checking for any updates, but it doesn't seem to be helping.
It might be a problem with the network in your area. Have you tried contacting your mobile service provider to see if they're aware of any issues?
That's a good idea. I haven't reached out to them yet, but I'll definitely give them a call and see if they can help.
They might be able to troubleshoot the issue with you and give you some tips for improving your signal. There might also be an app you can download that can help boost your signal.
I didn't even think about that. Do you have any app recommendations?
There are a few apps out there that can help boost your signal, like Network Signal Booster, OpenSignal, and Signal Booster Pro. Just be careful when downloading apps like these, as some of them can be scams or have negative side effects on your phone.
That's good to know. I'll make sure to do my research before downloading any apps. But it's good to know that there are options out there for improving my signal.
Definitely. And if all else fails, you might want to consider switching to a different mobile service provider that has better coverage in your area.
Yeah, that's something I've thought about. It's just a hassle to switch providers and get a new phone number and everything.
It can be a hassle, but if you're really struggling with bad signal, it might be worth it in the long run. It's always good to have reliable mobile service.
That's a good point. Thanks for the advice, Anna. I'll definitely look into some of these options and see if I can improve my signal.
Lesson 22: Planting a new tree in my backyard.
Hey Anna, I've been thinking about planting a new tree in my backyard. Do you have any advice on how to do it properly?
That's a great idea, John. Planting trees is a great way to help the environment and beautify your property. What kind of tree are you thinking of planting?
I was thinking of planting a maple tree. They have beautiful leaves and can grow to be quite tall.
That sounds like a great choice. When it comes to planting a new tree, the first thing you'll want to do is choose a good location. Make sure the spot you choose has plenty of sunlight and enough space for the tree to grow.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the soil? Do I need to prepare it in any way?
Yes, you'll want to make sure the soil is well draining and has plenty of nutrients. You can add compost or other organic matter to the soil to improve its quality.
That's good to know. And what's the best time of year to plant a tree?
The best time to plant a tree is usually in the fall or early spring, when the weather is cooler and there's more moisture in the soil.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And how deep should I plant the tree?
You'll want to make sure you're planting the tree at the right depth. The hole should be slightly wider than the tree's root ball, and the top of the root ball should be level with the surrounding soil.
Got it. And how often should I water the tree?
It's important to water the tree regularly, especially in the first few weeks after planting. You'll want to make sure the soil is moist but not waterlogged. As the tree grows, you can reduce the frequency of watering.
That's good to know. Thanks for all the advice, Anna. I'm excited to plant my new tree and watch it grow.
You're welcome, John. Planting a tree is a great way to make a positive impact on the environment, and it's always rewarding to watch something grow and thrive. Lesson 23: Mother's Day.
Hey Anna, have you made any plans for Mother's Day this year?
Yes, I have. I'm planning on taking my mom out to brunch and spending some quality time with her. How about you?
I'm planning on sending my mom a care package with some of her favorite things and giving her a call to wish her a happy Mother's Day.
That's really thoughtful. What kind of things are you including in the care package?
I'm including some of her favorite snacks, a new book by her favorite author, and a few other small gifts.
That sounds like a great gift. It's always nice to give something personal and meaningful.
Definitely. And I'll make sure to give her a call on Mother's Day and let her know how much she means to me.
That's a great idea. It's important to take the time to show our appreciation for our moms and all they've done for us.
Absolutely. What are some other ways we can celebrate Mother's Day?
Well, you could also send your mom flowers or a card, or plan a special activity together like going to a museum or taking a cooking class.
Those are great ideas. I might have to plan something like that for my mom next year.
It's always nice to have something to look forward to. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is to let our moms know how much we love and appreciate them.
That's so true. I'm grateful for everything my mom has done for me, and I'm sure you feel the same way about your mom.
Absolutely. Our moms have played such an important role in our lives, and it's important to make sure they know how much they mean to us. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful moms out there. Lesson 24, Louvre Museum in Paris.
Hey Anna, have you ever been to the Louvre Museum in Paris? I've been thinking about planning a trip there.
Yes, I have been there before. It's an incredible museum with so much to see. What kind of art are you interested in?
I'm really interested in Renaissance art and ancient civilizations. I've heard that the Louvre has some amazing pieces from those time periods.
Yes, the Louvre has an incredible collection of artwork from all different periods of history. You'll definitely find plenty to see and explore there.
That's great to hear. Do you have any tips for visiting the Louvre? I've heard it can be overwhelming.
Yes, it can be a bit overwhelming, but there are a few things you can do to make the most of your visit. First, make sure to plan ahead and decide which exhibits you want to see most. That way, you can prioritize and make sure you don't miss anything important.
That's a good tip. And what about the crowds? I've heard it can be really crowded, especially during peak tourist season.
It can be crowded, but if you go early in the morning or later in the evening, you might be able to avoid some of the crowds. It's also a good idea to buy your tickets in advance so you don't have to wait in long lines.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about other museums in Paris? Are there any others you would recommend visiting?
Definitely. The Musée d'Orsay is another great museum in Paris, with a focus on Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art. And the Centre Pompidou is a modern art museum that's also worth checking out.
Those sound like great options. I'll definitely have to plan a museum hopping trip when I'm in Paris.
That's a great idea. Paris has so many amazing museums and cultural institutions to explore. You'll never run out of things to see and do. Lesson 25. Do you remember our math teacher from high school?
Hey Anna, do you remember our math teacher from high school? She was one of the best teachers I've ever had.
Yes, I remember her. She was really passionate about math and had a way of making even the most difficult concepts easy to understand.
That's exactly what I remember about her. She had a real talent for teaching and was able to connect with students in a way that made them excited about learning.
Definitely. And she always had a positive attitude and was willing to go out of her way to help students who were struggling.
That's so true. I remember she would stay after class to help students with homework or answer questions they had about the material.
She really cared about her students and wanted to help them succeed. I think that's what made her such a great teacher.
I couldn't agree more. And it's not just her teaching style that I remember, but also her personality. She was always so kind and approachable.
Yes, she had a great sense of humor and was always willing to listen to her students. She made math class enjoyable, which is something I never thought I'd say.
Same here. She made me realize that math could actually be fun and interesting. I'm grateful for everything she taught me.
Me too. She was a real inspiration to me and I'm sure to many other students as well. It's teachers like her who make a real difference in their students' lives.
Absolutely. I hope she knows how much of an impact she had on us and how much we appreciated her as a teacher.
I'm sure she does. Teachers like her don't do it for the recognition, but it's always nice to let them know how much they're appreciated. Lesson 26. Installing antivirus software on my laptop.
Hey Anna, I've been thinking about installing antivirus software on my laptop. Do you have any recommendations?
Yes, it's definitely a good idea to have antivirus software on your laptop to protect against malware and other security threats. There are a lot of good options out there, so it really depends on what you're looking for.
I'm looking for something that's easy to use and won't slow down my computer too much. I also want something that's affordable.
One option that might work for you is Avast. It's a free antivirus software that's easy to use and has a good reputation for detecting and removing malware.
That sounds like a good option. Are there any other options I should consider?
Another good option is Norton Antivirus. It's a paid software, but it's also very effective and has a lot of features, including a firewall and identity protection.
That sounds like a more robust option. Is it easy to set up?
Yes, it's pretty straightforward to set up and use. And they have good customer support if you run into any issues.
Okay, I'll definitely consider that one. What about McAfee? I've heard mixed reviews about that one.
Anna, McAfee is another option, but I've heard similar mixed reviews. Some people have had good experiences with it, while others have had issues with it slowing down their computer or being difficult to use.
That's good to know. I think I'll stick with Avast or Norton for now. Thanks for the recommendations, Anna.
You're welcome, John. It's important to have antivirus software on your computer to protect your personal information and keep your computer running smoothly. Lesson 27. The History of Coca-Cola.
Hey Anna, have you ever wondered about the history of Coca-Cola and how it became such a popular drink?
Yes, actually I have. Coca-Cola is such an iconic brand, and I'm curious to learn more about its origins.
Well, Coca-Cola was invented in 1886 by a pharmacist named John Pemberton in Atlanta, Georgia. He created the drink as a medicinal tonic, combining coca leaves and cola nuts.
That's really interesting. I had no idea it started off as a medicinal tonic.
Yes, it was originally marketed as a cure-all for various ailments. But it quickly became popular as a refreshing beverage, especially during hot summer days.
I can definitely see why. Coca-Cola has a really unique taste that's hard to describe. What happened to the company after Pemberton created the drink?
Pemberton sold the rights to the formula just a few years after he invented it, and the company was later acquired by businessman Asa Griggs Candler. Candler was a marketing genius and was responsible for turning Coca-Cola into the global brand it is today.
That's really impressive. What kind of marketing strategies did Candler use?
Candler was a pioneer of modern advertising and used a lot of innovative strategies, like distributing free drink coupons and placing Coca-Cola ads in newspapers and magazines. He also helped expand the distribution of Coca-Cola to other parts of the country and eventually around the world.
It's amazing how one person's vision and marketing skills can have such an impact on a brand. Coca-Cola has become such a huge part of American culture and is enjoyed by people all over the world.
Yes, it's definitely a testament to the power of branding and marketing. And it all started with a simple tonic created by a pharmacist over a century ago.
It's fascinating to think about how things like this can have such a big impact on our lives. Thanks for sharing the history of Coca-Cola with me, John.
You're welcome, Anna. It's always interesting to learn about the history of iconic brands and the people who made them what they are today.
Lesson 28. Have you ever been really impressed by someone or something?
Hey Anna, have you ever been really impressed by someone or something?
Yes, definitely. There have been times when I've been blown away by someone's talent or skill, or by something that's really innovative or groundbreaking.
Same here. I remember a few years ago, I saw a performance by a group of dancers that was absolutely incredible. The way they moved and expressed themselves was so powerful and moving.
That sounds amazing. I love when art and performance can have that kind of emotional impact.
Me too. And I've also been impressed by people who are really dedicated to their craft or profession. Like doctors who work tirelessly to save lives, or scientists who make groundbreaking discoveries.
Yes, it's inspiring to see people who are so passionate and committed to what they do. I'm always impressed by people who are able to make a real difference in the world.
Definitely. And I think it's important to recognize and celebrate those achievements, whether they're big or small. It can be really motivating to see what other people are capable of.
I agree. And sometimes it's the small things that can be really impressive too, like someone who's able to stay calm and collected in a stressful situation, or someone who's able to find solutions to problems that others can't.
That's a good point. It's not always about big achievements or accomplishments. Sometimes it's just about the way people handle themselves in everyday situations.
Exactly. And I think it's important to be open to being impressed by others. It can be really enriching and rewarding to see what other people are capable of and learn from them.
I couldn't agree more. Being impressed by others can help us grow and become better versions of ourselves.
Lesson 29. Have you always been interested in geography?
Hey Anna, have you always been interested in geography?
Yes, I've always been fascinated by the world around us and how different cultures and natural landscapes have developed over time. What about you?
I've always found geography interesting, especially learning about different countries and their unique features.
Yes, there's so much to explore when it comes to geography. Have you ever traveled to another country and experienced their geography firsthand?
Yes, I've been fortunate enough to travel to a few different countries and see their geography up close. One of the most memorable experiences was hiking in the Swiss Alps.
That sounds amazing. The Alps are one of the most beautiful mountain ranges in the world. What about other natural features, like rivers or deserts? Have you ever been to any of those?
I haven't been to a desert yet, but I've seen some incredible rivers. I remember taking a boat ride down the Amazon River in South America and being blown away by the sheer size and power of the river.
Wow, that must have been an incredible experience. The Amazon is one of the largest and most important rivers in the world.
Yes, it was definitely a memorable experience. What about you? Have you ever traveled to a place with unique geography?
Yes, I've been to Iceland, which has some of the most unique geography in the world, with its volcanoes, glaciers, and geysers.
Iceland sounds amazing. I've always wanted to go there and see the Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights are definitely a must-see. But there's so much more to explore in Iceland, like the Blue Lagoon, a hot spring with mineral-rich water, or Vatnajökull, the largest glacier in Europe.
Those all sound incredible. It's amazing how geography can shape a country and its culture.
Yes, geography plays a huge role in shaping the world around us. And there's always more to explore and discover, whether it's in our own backyards or in far-off lands. Lesson 30: Impact of Amazon on the retail industry.
Hey Anna, have you ever thought about the impact that Amazon has had on the retail industry?
Yes, Amazon has definitely had a huge impact on the way we shop and the way businesses operate.
And it's not just retail. Amazon has also expanded into other areas like cloud computing and streaming services.
That's true. Amazon is a major player in a lot of different industries. But its impact on retail is particularly significant.
Definitely. I mean, Amazon has completely changed the way we think about shopping. It's so easy to order something online and have it delivered to your doorstep in just a few days.
And it's not just convenience. Amazon also offers a huge selection of products and often at lower prices than traditional retailers.
Right. And with Amazon Prime, customers can get even faster shipping and access to other services like streaming movies and TV shows.
It's hard to imagine what the retail industry would look like today without Amazon. Do you think there are any downsides to Amazon's dominance in the market?
I think there are definitely some concerns around the impact that Amazon has had on small businesses and the job market. As Amazon has grown, it's put a lot of pressure on small retailers to compete, and some have been forced to shut down.
That's definitely a concern. And there are also concerns around the working conditions for Amazon employees, particularly those working in the company's warehouses.
Yes, that's a good point. Amazon has faced criticism for its treatment of employees and for not doing enough to ensure their safety and well-being.
It's a complex issue, and there are certainly pros and cons to Amazon's dominance in the market. But there's no denying that it has had a huge impact on the retail industry and on how we shop and consume goods.
That's definitely true. And I think it's important to continue to have these conversations and examine the impact that companies like Amazon are having on our society and our economy.
Lesson 31: Have you ever seen a dragonfly?
Hey Anna, have you ever seen a dragonfly?
Yes, I have. They're such fascinating creatures. Why do you ask?
I saw a dragonfly today while I was out for a walk and it got me thinking about them. Did you know that dragonflies are some of the fastest insects in the world?
Yes, I did. They're incredibly agile too. Did you know that they can fly in all directions, even backwards?
I didn't know that. That's really interesting. I also read that dragonflies have been around for millions of years, and that they were one of the first winged insects to evolve.
Yes, that's true. They've been around for over 300 million years, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
I also heard that dragonflies are considered to be beneficial insects because they eat other insects like mosquitoes and flies.
Yes, that's right. They're predators and they're actually quite effective at controlling the populations of other insects. In fact, some people even encourage dragonflies to live in their gardens to help keep the insect population under control.
That's really cool. I also heard that dragonflies are symbols of change and transformation in some cultures.
Yes, that's true. In some Native American cultures, dragonflies are seen as messengers of change and transformation. They're also associated with water, which is a symbol of life and renewal.
That's really interesting. I love learning about the symbolism and mythology behind different animals. Do you know of any other interesting facts about dragonflies?
Well, I know that dragonflies have incredibly complex eyes that allow them to see in almost all directions, and they can even see ultraviolet light. They also have unique flight patterns that are different from any other insect.
Wow, I had no idea they were so complex. It's amazing how much we can learn from studying the natural world around us.
Absolutely. Dragonflies are just one of many fascinating creatures that we can learn from and appreciate. Lesson 32. Have you ever thought about taking a trip to the South Pole?
Hey Anna, have you ever thought about taking a trip to the South Pole?
Actually, I haven't thought about that before. Why do you ask?
I was reading about it and it sounds like an incredible adventure. There are a few companies that offer guided tours to the South Pole, but it's definitely not a trip for everyone.
That does sound like an adventure. But I'm not sure if I'm equipped for that kind of trip. What kind of preparations do we need to make for such a journey?
Well, for starters, we would need to make sure we're in good physical shape since the altitude and cold temperatures can be challenging. We would also need to invest in warm, high-quality clothing and gear that can handle the extreme cold.
That makes sense. But what about travel arrangements and accommodations? How do we even get to the South Pole?
There are a few ways to get there, but most tours start by flying to Punta Arenas, Chile and then taking a flight to the Union Glacier Camp in Antarctica. From there, we would take a ski-equipped aircraft to the South Pole.
Wow, that's a pretty intense journey. But it's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. What kind of activities can we do once we're there?
There are a variety of activities to choose from, like skiing, snowboarding, and trekking. We can also visit research stations and learn about the scientific work being done in the area. And of course, we can't miss the opportunity to see the beauty of the Antarctic landscape and wildlife.
That sounds incredible. But what about safety concerns? I've heard that the weather in Antarctica can be unpredictable and dangerous.
That's definitely a concern. Most tours have experienced guides who are well trained in handling the extreme weather conditions. They also have safety protocols in place to ensure that everyone stays safe.
Okay, that's good to know. This trip sounds amazing, but it's definitely not something to take lightly. We need to do a lot of research and preparation before embarking on such a journey.
Definitely. It's important to be well prepared and informed before taking on any kind of adventure, especially one as extreme as a trip to the South Pole. But I think it would be an unforgettable experience that we'll always remember.
Lesson 33, a lot of documents on your desk.
Hey Anna, I noticed that you have a lot of documents on your desk. Are you feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah, I am. I've been swamped with work lately, and I feel like I can't keep up with all these documents. It's getting hard to focus and stay organized.
I understand how you feel. Having a cluttered desk can be distracting and make it difficult to get work done efficiently. Have you thought about implementing some organizational strategies?
I have, but I'm not sure where to start. Do you have any tips?
Sure, there are a few things you can do. First, try to prioritize your tasks and organize the documents accordingly. You can use folders, trays, or a filing cabinet to keep everything in order.
That's a good idea. I've been trying to sort things by priority, but I haven't been very successful. Maybe I need to be more disciplined.
Another strategy is to go paperless as much as possible. You can scan important documents and store them electronically, which will save a lot of physical space.
That's a great idea. I've been hesitant to go paperless, but it would definitely help me stay organized. Do you have any suggestions for electronic storage systems?
There are a lot of options out there, but some popular ones are Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. You can also use document management software like Evernote or Trello to keep track of everything.
Okay, I'll look into those options. But what about the documents that I can't store electronically? What do I do with all the physical copies?
You can use a filing cabinet to keep everything organized. You can also use trays or organizers to keep things within reach but not cluttering your desk.
That's a good idea. I think I'll invest in a filing cabinet and some trays. Thanks for the suggestion. Do you have any other tips?
1 LTRY to keep your desk as clean as possible. When you're finished with a document, file it away or throw it out. That way, you'll have less clutter to deal with.
That's a good reminder. I'm definitely guilty of leaving things out on my desk. I'll make an effort to keep it clean. Thanks for all the advice, John. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Anna. I know how overwhelming it can be to deal with a cluttered desk. Hopefully these tips will help you stay organized and focused.
Lesson 34, New Doll.
Hey Anna, I noticed that you have a new doll. Is that a new addition to your collection?
Yes, it is. I just got it yesterday. It's a limited edition doll that I've been wanting for a while.
It looks really cool. What's special about this particular doll?
Well, it's part of a series of dolls that are designed by a famous artist. They're known for their intricate details and unique designs, and this one is especially rare.
That's really interesting. I didn't realize that dolls could be so collectible. How did you first get into collecting dolls?
It's something that I've been interested in since I was a kid. I used to play with dolls all the time, and as I got older, I started to appreciate the artistry and craftsmanship that goes into making them.
I can see why. This doll is really detailed and well made. Do you think you'll keep collecting dolls like this in the future?
Definitely. I love the idea of collecting something that's both beautiful and meaningful. Each doll tells a story and represents a different era or style.
That's really cool. It's great to have a hobby that's not only enjoyable but also has some historical or cultural significance. Have you learned anything interesting about the history of dolls through your collecting?
Absolutely. Dolls have been around for thousands of years and have been used for everything from religious rituals to children's toys. It's fascinating to see how they've evolved over time.
That's really interesting. I had no idea that dolls had such a rich history. Do you have any other dolls in your collection that are particularly meaningful to you?
Yes, I have a few dolls that are especially meaningful. One of them is a vintage doll that belonged to my grandmother. It's not as intricate or detailed as some of my other dolls, but it has a lot of sentimental value.
That's really special. It's great to have something that connects you to your family history. I can see why collecting dolls would be so rewarding.
Definitely. It's a hobby that brings a lot of joy and fulfillment. I'm always on the lookout for new dolls to add to my collection. Welcome to subscribe our channel. Let's meet in our next video.